Welcome, everyone. I know you're all just gathering, coming on in now, but I just want to start by saying, as everybody comes in, I'm Deborah Rozman, and I really appreciate you joining me in this live event. I think all of us are feeling something in relation to this upcoming election, and it'd be hard not to. And one of the things we may be feeling is anxiety about what is going to happen, what might happen between now and the election, and what might happen afterwards. And it's really important for our own mental, emotional, and physical health, and for how we can contribute to other people in the world, that we learn how to self-regulate, self-manage, self-empower, and be able to find our inner balance through all this. I don't know about you, but every time I watch the news or look at a social media feed, depending upon whether it is for one candidate or another, I'm always feeling like there's limited views. And so it creates more and more separation and polarization, and finding something that's truly objective may be hard to do, although a lot of people think what they're watching is objective. So if you step back and look at this bigger picture from a helicopter view, it can look pretty chaotic. But for us as individuals, we can turn that chaos into our own inner coherence and manage ourselves through all of this process. And that's really what my heart wants to share with you today, is some of my perceptions and how I'm managing, and also what we can do, some of the powerful techniques that I use at HeartMath and others use to be able to reset, come back to inner balance, move with ease, and access more of our heart's intuitive guidance of what our best approaches are in caring for ourselves and each other through these times. It doesn't matter in what I'm going to share with you whether you are for one candidate or another. What matters is that we each look from a balanced perspective at whatever the news is, whatever the craziness is, whatever the judgments and blames that we see crossing the airwaves or the smartphone social media feeds, that we learn in our own maturity and inner dignity to step back and realize that there's a lot of anxiety and tension in the people who are writing that or producing that, that there's a wave of this type of stress, and it's totally understandable. The reports that I've seen in the polls is 70% of people have anxiety about it because the polarization is so strong. And projections of how it's going to get worse make the anxiety worse. But we don't have to live in that state. And maybe you don't, but it can be triggered. And what we want to do is prevent and stop the energy drains in our own system, prep and reset, and be able to help others in our families, our workplaces, who may be going through election anxiety. Now, one of the biggest challenges is, I hear this from friends, family members, is when there's somebody who's close to you who has strong feelings about one candidate and you support another candidate, and there's almost no room for discussion or dialogue because the beliefs are so strong based upon what news channel they believe in and watch, or based upon their fears and projections of what might happen if the other gets elected. So learning how to move through these social situations with care, with compassion, with heart understanding that not everyone's going to agree and everybody's doing the best they can from where they're coming from, is really an essential quality for us to learn how to embody once we find our inner balance, if we're ever going to all get along in this world. One of the biggest problems we see at HeartMath is people don't know how to get along with each other, with those of different beliefs, different cultures, different religions. And it's gotten amplified in all the social media gatherings that we see, all the social media preferences. There's tribes, there's people who are following one system or one set of beliefs and people following another. And that can create a tribal identity that allows people to have more judgments, anger, and separation from others, whether it's family, friends, or just in society. To find our inner balance, we have to be prepared to turn judgments into compassion, or at least neutral, with an understanding that people are doing the best they can. We don't have to agree with them. And then being able to move through news, events, conversations from a state of inner balance and inner ease. So I'm going to be sharing with you some of the tools, techniques that we use here to come back to ease and balance, to come back to inner coherence, to reset our nervous system so we're not processing worry and fear and dysregulation and having that affect the quality of our emotions, how we sleep at night, our choices we make, and our relationships. We can become examples of the change we'd like to see and of the kind of person we'd like to be, our best self, and know that that has an impact on others energetically. So I'm hoping you're here to learn some of those techniques and know that together we can make a huge difference by managing our energies and learning that techniques to help us do that. One of the first techniques I want to share with you, and some of you may already know it because we teach it in some of our training programs, is called the inner ease technique. And it's so simple, but so effective. And we're going to do it together. And then I want you to know the slides I have here and the techniques we're going to have on a handout that'll be sent to you following this event. Because you're able then to print it out or put it up on your screen and use it whenever you start to feel out of balance, incoherent, or anxious. Again, the whole idea is to get your heart, brain, nervous system back in sync so you can connect more with your heart's intuitive guidance, be able to live and move more in a state of ease through all the changes and challenges that are happening through this election period and beyond. So do this with me. First step is focus your attention in the area of the heart. You can close your eyes or keep your eyes open. It doesn't matter because you can use this technique in meetings and conversations with eyes open. Take a pause and imagine your breath is flowing in and out of your heart or chest area, breathing a little slower and deeper than usual. Find an easy rhythm that's comfortable. And know as you're doing this heart-focused breathing, your nervous system is coming back into balance. The parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems are coming into balance as you breathe in through the heart and out through the heart, about the same time and rhythm. Okay, down the next step is keep doing the heart-focused breathing. And with each breath, draw in the feeling of inner ease, or the attitude of inner ease to balance your mental and emotional energy. Have that intent. With each breath, draw in the feeling of inner ease to balance your mental and emotional energy. And as you truly feel or take on that genuine attitude of ease, you're bringing your heart rhythms into more coherence. You're actually creating a state of physiological inner balance between your heart, which communicates to your brain and nervous system. Now set a meaningful intent as you continue this heart-focused breathing to anchor the feeling of inner ease as you engage in your next projects, challenges, or daily interactions. These three simple steps, heart-focused breathing, drawing in the feeling of inner ease, setting a meaningful intent to anchor that feeling as you move into your next engagement, activity, challenge that you're addressing, can keep you in more relative coherence and inner balance as you move through these activities. Now, I want to share with you, there's a time very recently that I use this inner ease technique. When I was talking with someone who really was strongly advocating for the presidential candidate that was different than the one that I prefer. And I could feel my energy rising in defense. But I knew with my own heart intelligence that wasn't going to help me or the person or the situation. And there's not about convincing the other person. I used the inner ease technique. It brought me back to balance and ease. And I was able to just have compassion, respect that person for where they're coming from, and reconnect in the heart. We really can have heart-to-heart connections with people who are different from us, believe different from us. That it starts with us coming into our own balance and ease. And this technique is something you can use about anything, not just about the election, but any challenge or stressful situations, or just when you want to find more flow throughout your day. I really encourage you to practice with it and enjoy the lift and spirit, the smoothness it can give you as you come back to inner ease and inner balance. Now, the next technique is actually an exercise I want to share. And it's called the inner dignity exercise. Now, there's something about dignity, integrity, those heart qualities that are really important for us to hold. They connect us with our deeper core heart values, and they enable us to hold a higher perspective that isn't about separation. It lifts us into the realms of new possibilities as we really hold dignity as a lens to look through. It creates more stability. I would say that dignity itself just is a power tool. You know, if you really tune in and say, what does dignity bring to me? It makes me sort of sit up straight and really align myself more with a larger part of myself. So let's do this inner dignity exercise, which is in the 12 Heart Math Tools booklet. And we're going to share a handout of these exercises for you. You can find the 12 Heart Math Tools on both companies' websites, heartmath.org and heartmath.com, and in the HeartMath app. But the dignity exercise we're focusing on here starts with the same heart-focused breathing that most of the HeartMath techniques start with to balance our nervous system. So let's focus our attention in the area of the heart. Imagine your breath is flowing in and out of your heart or chest area, breathing a little slower and deeper than usual. Find an easy rhythm that's comfortable. Now, as you breathe, imagine you are increasing your inner dignity, your inner strength and poise. This increases your power to maintain your higher principles through life's interactions. Feel what that means to you. Feel these energies. When you practice breathing, a sense of inner strength and inner poise, you want to do so for at least a couple minutes with feeling. That helps bring it into our system and anchor that frequency more into our system. Know that our dignity is the foundational baseline of good character. It's a source of extra strength, especially at times when we're low on initiative. In this exercise, as you practice this on your own, explore how increasing your inner dignity can encourage you to follow through on choices that are best for you, more aligned with you, even though they may not always be the most appealing to our personality. Dignity provides a strength that keeps us aligned with our higher principles and strengthens with use. This is such an important practice at this time. I find when I use any of the heart math techniques, sometimes I start with breathing in inner dignity, this exercise, to give me that extra strength of alignment and empowerment. It empowers my intentions and aligns me with what is best for myself and the wholeness. So we're doing these short live events like this one to share with you one or two things that are important to us at this time that we think might be helpful to you. And at the end of this, we're going to do a heart lock-in a minute together. We want you to put in chat how you feel about it, your ideas, any feedback, and what kind of live events you might want to see in the future. Longer ones, perfect timing, shorter ones, and there'll be a poll as well. But I want to end with a heart meditation where we are actually sending our heart energy, our compassion, our dignity into the energetic field to radiate it to each other and to all people who might be addressing election anxiety in themselves, and see it help lift the spirit and the environment. So let's do it together. Again, let's reboot heart focused breathing. Focus your attention in the area of the heart and imagine your breath flowing in and out of your heart or chest area. Breathing a little slower, deeper than usual. Find that easy rhythm that's comfortable. Now activate and sustain a regenerative feeling as you continue to breathe through the heart area, such as appreciation, care, or compassion. Be genuine as you activate and sustain that feeling as you breathe through the area of the heart. Now radiate that renewing feeling to yourself and others. Feel it radiating and sending from your heart to all the cells of your body, to each other, and to people who are struggling with election bias or election anxiety. Just radiate that renewing feeling to everyone's heart. Know the heart connection is what matters most. Now, for the next few minutes, send that heart energy, radiated and compassion, for the highest, best outcome. Have that as your intention. And we'll do that in silence for a couple minutes together. Thank you so much for sharing that heart lock-in with me. I am absolutely thrilled to share with you all what has worked for me and my friends here at HeartMath. And I hope you use these tools and really be able to move through this next time period with ease, dignity, and centeredness and balance. So again, thank you so much. And I want to remind you, since we're starting these live events, would love your input of how you like it and how long you want these things to be, shorter, longer, or any other ideas you have for live events. Take care and really enjoy this time period as we move together into this new potential. Thank you.